on.
Good. Oh, let me see. I can still.
Hello to everybody who's already watching and can see us. We are just
Yeah, I can see it
refreshing.
now.
Yeah, okay.
And I Twitch.
Sorry about that.
Now I think Twitch is also. Yeah, I have both chats ready now.
Okay, I'm just skipping some ads here. There we go. So today, what we are going to do is solve some exercises. We have seen many nice games, and we are going to try to solve some positions are going to be easy, and they are just typical things that we've seen. Some of them are tactics. Very few are tactics though. Sorry, Sophie.
Oh, no.
Sorry about that, but I tried. I tried to get some tactics. It's just more difficult to get tactics here, I guess.
Yeah.
And this is the first one, and it's black to play. So we're going to solve some training position throughout the whole session today. And I'm going to say this from the beginning. If you, as you probably can guess already, this is the last session of our Nimzo streams. So if you guys have any suggestions, make sure to write them in the chat so Sophie can read them and see if she's going to pick the next the next subject. Let's see what she thinks is. I have some ideas, so I'm going to give her those as well. But first I want to see what you would like to see, and we're going to try to get something nice for the next series.
Yes.
So while I'm refreshing the Twitch, which has frozen for me, I will let you think about this position with black to play.
Yeah. So I guess this is not one of the tactics. I think the first, I'm really considering just to take on e3 to get rid of my isolated pawn. That seems like a logical move. Or I could, maybe I could even play knight e4 and see where his, seems like a nice move, knight e4. Because his bishops only really has the e4, e1 square. And that looks like then the rooks are not connected anymore. So then we will win the dark squared bishop. I think I like that. And if we take an e3 first, then I think that option is going to disappear, right? Because then he can take with the bishop and then we can't really... So maybe if we play knight e4.
Okay.
And then...
They'll have to defend probably, no? Like something like rook d1.
Yeah, maybe rook d1 like this. And then... Ooh, then I'm not sure if we can... I mean, we should probably take.
Okay.
And then once he take back, then I'm thinking if we can take on e3. But then we're in the same file as white's rook, our queen is. But I think, I mean, if he puts his knight on f6 or e7, we can just capture with the queen. So I think that should be okay. So he will probably take back. And even he will probably have to take back with the pawn. And then he has a very weak pawn on e3.
Yeah, I think that looks like an idea. But okay, knight e4 is the first move. Looks very logical. You bring a piece. You centralize a piece. He played rook cd1 in the game. And here you have to evaluate your options again. Pawn takes e3 was... Oh, actually knight d2 was the one that you were saying. No.
Yeah, I wanted to take the bishop first. Yeah.
And what else is there?
I just read out the chat, and I see that somebody is being very e5. e5. And oh, it is a tactic.
It is a tactic, yes.
It is a tactic. Okay. So we play g5 and we take on d5.
And we win a piece, no?
Yeah, we win a piece.
Yeah, that's the point here, that you have g5 because the knights are a bit awkward, no? It's just after you play knight e4, you cut the queen also. And whenever you see the knights linked like that, there will be tactical ideas. So here g5 wins a piece. It's not the move played in the game. In the game he played knight c7. And the game...
It's possible for you to, because I can actually see there's like an engine on the side of it. It's usually not there.
Oh, I have no idea. Maybe there's something that I have to do here. There we go. How about now? Sorry about that.
I can't cheat.
Yeah. Okay, so here after knight c7, well, this is a completely different game, but g5 was the opportunity that I wanted you to spot here.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything white can do because knight h5 does not really defend anything, no? I can simply take on d5 and this is not really a tactic because I defend my queen, luckily. It's all under control.
Yeah, and he can't,
This is defending, no? So that's a piece up. What else could there be? Something like queen g4 maybe, just to pin my pawn here, but you probably have many moves. Bishop g7 or king h8, simply get out of the pin.
Yeah, like bishop g7.
Yeah, to cover the king also, no? And this should be winning. And really there's no other move that they can play here. I don't think there's anything else. Okay, so this was the first one. Just let me check now which is our second position, because when I added it to the lesson, my order, I had them in a particular order that I wanted them, but then it got ruined when I uploaded everything here. So I think this is the second one. Okay, second one, this is right. Black to play.
Okay. This looks like there could be something tactical.
Yes, it does look like it, no?
Something about this, it's not working. Oh, it's gonna make something about this, but it's not working yet. And there's also like, it's just a lot of things going on here. Yeah, okay.
I just took a look at the chat and suddenly when I come back, it's all full of arrows. Yeah, like that.
Well, I'm just, I should be more structured when
no, it's great that you notice all these tactical ideas. I think this is how it should work.
Yeah, but
you see all these ideas and then...
order afterwards. Also something about this diagonal. Maybe we could even play knight takes d4. Can't take with the queen because then bishop c5 would win the queen.
Yeah.
So then he would have to take with the knight.
Mm-hmm.
And then bishop g3, he can take an e8 check. So maybe I could take here first.
And what happens if he takes on e8?
And then he can maybe take back with the queen. And
no, but what happened if they took on e8? Why was that a problem?
The queen is trapped, isn't she?
Yeah.
I think he will get trapped. So I take here. He takes with the knight. We play bishop.
Mm-hmm.
Takes. We just take back, and the queen has nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's very nice, no? The queen is trapped on f2.
Yeah.
This was the easiest way to win this position. This position is already great for black, I have to say.
And I can see Isu found it as well, a queen trap.
Queen trap, yes. I'm just checking. I don't know what's happening on the Twitch chat because nobody's suggesting moves so far. So come on, guys.
Get in the game.
Get in the game here with us. Let's solve some exercises. So knight d4 is I think winning already, no? Knight d4, and this is the point exactly.
I like you told me that that you didn't have many tactics, and then you just start off with hardcore tactics.
I started with the simple ones just to get you
get in the
warmed up.
Yeah.
And here when they take rook e8 and the queen is still trapped. No, this is very beautiful here. Queen cannot go anywhere. Well, the thing to do after knight d4 is not take for white. Well, we've won a very important pawn, and as you said, there will be some problems with this diagonal in the future.
Yeah, and knight c2 is also a threat.
Yes, I was looking at knight b3 as well. Yeah, I think everything. No, if they play something like this, probably knight b3 is winning material. Okay, in the game they played black sacrificed. No, actually he took here with the bishop, and after knight takes e2 he sacrificed the exchange, which works, but the thing is that here I think that white didn't play in the most correct way. There were some better moves. Knight d4 wins on the spot. Okay, so let's go now with the third exercises, which is actually from the same game, a little bit earlier. Where are you? Here you are, I think. Is this the one? I think so. I'm just going to see if... Ah, it ruined it for me.
Is it ruining it?
I think so. Did you see the move? If you didn't see the move, then it's not ruined.
Yeah, I think I saw it, sorry.
So this was an exercise which got ruined because when I uploaded it, apparently it moved. So, but it was an easy one, no?
To play c5?
To play c5, because here you have white has just played f3, and I wanted to remind you about this idea that whenever they play f3 with the idea of e4, you have to look at c5.
Yeah, that's good you reminded me of that.
It's too bad that it didn't come out as an exercise though.
Yeah.
So that's one less exercise for you today. Let's just go with the next one.
Yes.
In that case, and I think this one,
it's there.
This one's going to be safe. Okay. Is this 1 second? It's a game by Sokolov versus Adams. It's not this one, it's the other one. Okay, and here black to play. Well, while you think here, it's not very difficult. I'm just going to answer someone's asking in the chat, how can you get the previous lessons? You can find them all in YouTube. Yeah. They're all named the same, so they are all great games in the Nimzo from 1 to 6. And I think that if you go in the description of the video, you will actually find a link to each one of them on YouTube, not on Twitch. And hello to everybody joining now in the Twitch chat.
Yeah, welcome. If you have any suggestion, then you're very welcome to write it in the chat. So we could take here. Oh.
I think this exercise is more for the people who have been watching our streams, and for you, Sophie, because this is one of the positions that we have seen.
I'm sorry, we've been looking at a lot of positions, though.
Yes, we have. That's true.
Is this where we play c6 then, because we want to develop our pieces without? Or do we play in bishop a? No, I don't like that.
What was the move that you were looking at right now?
I was looking at c6, but I think it's because I'm trying to remember if we've had this. Like I remember that you showed me an opening position where c6 was a good way because you really want to develop this knight, but as soon as you develop it, then you can get hit by c6. So
Yeah.
sometimes we want to play c6 ourselves and then maybe play knight d7 and
Yes,
maybe
basically that's the point. Also because you want to develop the bishop on c8, and bishop a6 is a move here that
yeah,
you might want to play. And in that case, b5 is still coming, no?
yeah.
So yes, this is c6, and this is the lines that we've been seeing. A short reminder of the ideas. c6 with the idea of bishop a6. And this
Yeah.
is something that we have seen. And we have seen, I think,
And
the whole... Yeah, and knight d7. And we have seen this whole idea of not taking on b4 too quickly or not taking on c5 too quickly, but just first bring the pieces. Queen b7, and now is when he takes on b4, plays rook c8. This was a draw. h3, a draw is agreed. But yes, this idea of c6 and bishop a6 was what I wanted to show you here. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which is, this is not gonna get ruined, Sophie, so it's okay, you don't have to hide because the game is longer. So hold on. It's
this
a
is
game
Psycho.
of crumbling.
Have you been seeing the Queen's Gambit?
Sorry?
Have you seen the Queen's Gambit?
I haven't. I think I'm the only chess player who hasn't, because I'm addicted right now to a different series. I was watching Sons of Anarchy, and I got to the last season, so I was kind of wanting to see how that's going to end. So I have a few more episodes of that, and then I'm going to see the Queen's Gambit. How about you?
I've seen everything now. It's just a reference in the chat. Somebody saw the answer on the ceiling. She's like playing and looking up on the ceiling and see all the pieces moving around. Okay, this position. This could be a tactic.
Not sure about that, but oh, by the way, this is the line with b5, the gambit line that
Yeah,
I
okay.
showed you.
Yeah, so we already sacrificed. Oh, we won the pawn back. We're not. The knave took. Okay. So if there's nothing tactical, then we should probably focus on putting our pieces out.
Okay.
But I'm not sure how good the knight is on c6. It's kind of blocking the bishop. Then we should go here. Also, white's king is still in the... look at this move, maybe. That seems logical.
There's the aggressive player
That's aggressive.
that I know.
Okay, if he puts his queen here... Then I don't know. Do we take it then?
I'm giving you a little more time to find the idea here. And I am watching both chats, so if you have any suggestions, please go ahead.
Yes. We can maybe go back to h5. There's some ideas about taking an f3, but I can't really get it to work.
Because knight f2 is defending everything, right?
Yeah.
In the end. Looks like it, yeah.
Okay, what if we just exchange queens? Then I don't think this bishop is very good right now. Maybe we could get it here and here, or here.
Okay, but what's your problem in this position?
I think we haven't really developed, like, our pieces are a bit clumsy on the queen side.
Yes, so you're not just going to mate white with the queen, no? Queen h4, knight f2 is also an idea, probably,
Yeah.
to castle short. You have a problem with the knight on b8. Yes,
If I put
that's
my
something.
knight off,
Okay.
but I just don't. I'm gonna look in the chat and see if anybody has any suggestions. Bishop takes f3.
That we already checked that, and it doesn't seem to work, no?
No, it's an idea, but it's not quite working. E5. E5 makes some sense because it's.
But if you play e5 here, aren't you kind of ruining your structure? Your pawn on d7? What are you going to do about that? White can castle here. White hasn't lost the right to castle, so he will just castle after pawn takes e5. I don't see any immediate threat.
Then maybe we could take the pawn on d4, but it will probably.
Oh, I meant pawn takes e5 first. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah,
Queen
yeah.
takes
And
and
then we
castle.
send back the queen, and we're not threatening on g2, so it's probably nothing. Chess talk is also suggesting both knight c6 and e5.
Knight c6 followed by e5, but why do I want to play e5 here? Because my pawn on d7 is not really something that I want to weaken. I think if I play e5 after the trades, I'll have some future problems with that pawn. Doesn't look like I'm going to mate white after I play e5. This is a positional exercises, in fact, and you have to find a way to get your pieces out. It's not so hard. I didn't think it would be so hard because I included it in the first ones, so I kind of sorted them by difficulties, but I'm sorry if I...
Yeah, I think it's quite hard, actually. Maybe we could...
Well, this is about you...
I think it's not... I don't know what to do with the knight. So maybe...
Yes.
Okay, so if I could just put it anywhere, I would like to put it on c4, maybe?
Exactly, maybe. That's the thing that I wanted you to see here.
But I can't go to a5 with my... I mean, I can put it on c6, but I can't then go to a5 because then the queen could capture it, unless I could then throw in queen h4.
The YouTube chat has found it, have to say.
Okay, so just before I look, there's the possibility of here.
And I think Mads has just the Twitch chat.
Here.
Wow, that's like oof.
Knight maneuver. I would prefer to just go here, here, here.
That's one of them. Yeah.
Is there another? Or then I could push my d pawn. I could play d6, and then I could play knight here, here, here.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the plan here. We play d6 to get our knight out. It's not that difficult, no? I don't think it's that difficult. You can also play knight c6.
Mess. Are you Danish, Mess? It sounds like a Danish name. But he's got it as well on Twitch.
Yes, he had the idea of d6. Was just going to say that you can also play knight c6, but this I think is going to be more difficult to find because after knight c6, this is a bit superficial. You want to get knight a5, and here you have to find this move, which is very unnatural. Play queen d8 with the idea of knight a5. This is just very unnatural way of getting the knight to c4. But the other way around with d6 looks very natural though. d6 I think is the most natural thing to play here.
Yeah.
If you find that you want to bring the knight on c4. And I actually chose this exercise because we had a game that we saw. It was, I remember it was Gurevich with the white pieces. I don't remember who had the black pieces, but he had the knight on c6, if you remember, and he played this maneuver that you were showing before. But he already had the knight on c6. That's the difference.
Okay. Yeah.
So now castle, I'm just going to show this a little bit because here I have, after f4, this is another question for you.
But now our bishop just became a bit better.
Yes. I think maybe f4 is not something that white has to play here, no? Because the pawn on f3 is doing a good job shutting the bishop down, and f4 looks like a move that you don't want to play here.
No, yeah, I agree. I think it looks should I find the best move for black here?
Yes, go ahead. What would you play here?
I think I would play maybe bishop d5.
Very nice. With the idea of bishop c4, no? Something that we've seen before as well. So here also, bishop... Sorry?
Yeah, because also this is not working because we can take on d4.
Yes, that's true. e4, you can take on d4 and then you move the bishop away. There's nothing happening. Bishop d5 is a move that I liked here, with the idea of bishop c4 and end up with the knight on c4 afterwards. Trade the bishops and get your knight here. Let me see, did I have any...
When I have a Danish player in the chat, that's nice. And I don't know if somebody's asking about the accent, and I'm not sure if you're talking about my accent or Raluca's accent. My accent is probably Danish.
And mine is Romanian for sure.
A little bit of everything.
When there was actually another position from this game, and I'm just going to jump to that position, and it's this one, where it's black to play.
I mean, we could take against f5.
And?
Maybe there's something better. Like this is an option.
Yeah.
But maybe we could improve if the rook was like in the end of that line, if I could then play rook c1, it would be really good.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just do something with our knight, like maybe taking this pawn. And then when he takes back, I guess he has to take back because there are no other like immediate threats as far as I can tell. Then we take the rook, and he takes, and we take the queen, and he takes, and we play rook here, and it's check. It's gonna be checkmate, isn't it? Yeah, I think.
Right. Yes, you're not.
No, you can put the knight in. No,
you're still winning a lot of material there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the move, but the most precise way to do, because it's more forcing, queen f5 is the most forcing. No, if you start with knight a3, yeah, you're winning a pawn. Maybe queen d1 has to be played after knight a3. It's still a much better position, probably close to winning. But I think queen f5 forces all this, and after knight a3 here, it's more difficult for white to defend everything. Looks like that, no? And this is everything. Nice. Very nice, Sophie.
Thank you. Tactical stuff is...
What do you have? Almost 4 out of 4, no? Nah, 4 out of 5.
I think the positional one got me. Couldn't.
Let me see. The next one is Morozevich Karpov. So let me just find it here in my exercises. And now I'm going to go here. Yes, black to play.
d5 looks good, but I think our knight on c5 is hanging in the end. Yeah. So maybe queen b6 is protecting the knight, and also then maybe planning to play knight b3, but maybe then he could play b4.
All that is
Knight.
true.
Yeah, okay. Knight, queen a5 is running also into b4, so maybe we should play a5. Is it stopping? Yeah, that would be stopping b4. a5. And then maybe going queen b6 next move.
And play for d5. No, but here this is about a very simple decision, because you have to decide what to do next, and you look at what your opponent wants to do. And I think b4 is the natural move for white here. He's going to play b4, attack your knight, and you're going to have to get out of there. So first thing you do is a5. This is a positional exercise to look for your opponent's threats and see what they want to play. You're going to stop it. Here he played bishop e3. Your turn.
I'm trying to figure out if queen b6 is losing or if it's okay.
Do you like your queen on b6 that much?
I was planning on maybe going to b3 and exchange queens with a good knight on b3. And then maybe playing a4 to make it even better. I don't want to play d6, so if I can protect it with the queen e7 is of course also queen e7 maybe.
Queen e7 is the move, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So you want to keep the knight there. Knight e4 is an idea that has been suggested in the chat.
Yeah. And
it's very typical, true, knight e4 with the idea of d5. But here, since you have this weakness that you are pointing out, Sophie, the b3 square, it makes sense to keep the knight, and maybe you might want to use it at some point. You don't have to hurry with knight e4. Here white played g3. Your turn again.
Now d5 is still hanging the knight. So maybe rook b8. To look at that b3 square, but then he can rook b8 is an idea, or maybe even moving the bishop out of, like putting it on a6, because now it looks like he's gonna put his bishop on g2, so it will not be able to then it will not be able to protect the opponent's c4. Maybe if we go here, we're not threatening to take it yet, but the bishop is not going to be very good on b7 right now, so I think bishop a6 or rook b8.
Okay, this is a position where we have many good moves.
I like this move.
Knight g4, yes, that's another move. Rook b8, bishop a6 are possible, but the move that I like most, the best move in this position that has been suggested in the chat, is a4.
a4, I also like that. Yeah.
a4 because you want to fix the pawns, no? And you want to fight for the square b3. It's all very positional here. We have Karpov with the black pieces. So.
Blitzkrieg says that black's position feels awkward to him.
I think black is already doing very well here.
Yeah, and at some point we're going to play d5, right?
Yes, that's the idea. And I think bishop a6 maybe makes that easier. But the idea is, yes, a4, fix this, and then bishop a6. So you play bishop a6 in this position, because now with the pawn on a4, as you were saying, c4 can be easily attacked, no? And the bishop on g2. And now he plays knight e5 with white. And what do you do now with black?
I think maybe just. Oh wait, then it's because c6 will be hanging if we go for d5.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. That knight e5 is meant to stop you from playing d5. Knight b3 is a move that people are suggesting and is of course a good idea here. I think you were also thinking about knight b3 here, no?
Yeah, because it's but my idea was to play knight b3 followed by d5, and if I can't play d5,
you are a bit disappointed. But okay, make d5 work. How do you make d5 work?
Rook c8. I mean, also I guess it's nice to get the rook out of this diagonal, but I just think the rook will be more. Yeah, maybe I like rook c8 because.
But how do you want your rooks placed in the future? Where are they going to go? What do you do with the rook from f8?
Well, that if I can play d5 and he takes, then depending on what pawn I take with, I guess I would take with the c pawn.
Yes.
The c file and the b file. So maybe it should be the other rook that goes there. So I can put this rook on c8 and this rook on b8.
Yeah, that feels very natural. Rook
Yeah.
c8 and rook b8. You can start by knight b3, but then you'll still have to play rook c8. So here he plays rook c8 right away. And the idea is that now he plays d5. And this looks really good for black.
Yeah.
This is everything that I wanted to show you from this position. Black has a very comfortable position now. And we can go to the next one, which is a game of Judith.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
let me see. Let me find it here. There we go. Is this one? And what we are going to see is this position, black to play.
I think I like c4.
What's the idea?
I mean, the bishop has to stay protecting the e4 pawn, and then we play knight d7 to c5.
Perfect. I think a couple of positional exercises and you got it all covered, Sophie. You just needed to warm up.
Yeah.
Knight d7 and knight c5 is the idea, of course. This is very nice.
Yeah, and Judith Polgar, she's one of my favorite players.
She got a very nice position here, I think. It was a draw in the end. It was a long game, but this is the moment that I think was very important. Knight e2, knight c5, and you can already even think about pushing the queen side, no? b5, a5. Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, this is a game that I like very much. A game of Adams that we are going to see almost in full.
Except of course is being very optimistic on my behalf, saying by the end of this series we're going to be waiting Magnus Carlsen. That be, I mean, I think less can do, but of course that would be nice. I am in Oslo, so
you are inspired.
I am what?
Inspired by
Yes.
Magnus, yes.
Yes. And this, okay, this was Adams.
Yes, Adams with the black pieces against Boris Gulko. So black to play here. This is a very, very nice game. So I was thinking, because we have seen all this positional chess in the Nimzo, just to make life more pleasant for Sophie, maybe we can have a series on attacking games next.
Yes.
But you guys let me know. What would you like to see next? And then let's see if Sophie agrees to that.
It's nice that I have like a veto. Right. Okay, I'm thinking about different moves. There's one idea about going bishop b7, but I think also maybe bishop a6. Might be an idea. But then I think if I end up having my knight there, it's a little bit awkward. I could also play c4 again, and then putting pressure on this pawn.
But I think that pawn is going to advance to e5 at some point.
Yeah, that's the idea.
And remember that white has the bishop pair here. You've given up your bishop on c3 earlier.
So then maybe, I mean, then bishop a6 would make some sense.
Yes, bishop a6 is the move here, and people were spotting it in the YouTube chat. How about Twitch? Yes. Blitzbreed has it, bishop a6. Yeah, that's the move here.
I'm not sure exactly, eccentric course, what Norway chess event you're talking about, but I am going to play a chess tournament in 2 weeks.
No, I think the one that passed. He's asking if you were able to visit the Norway
no.
chess.
No, unfortunately, it was not in Oslo. It was another place. Norway is actually quite a big country, so I weren't able to go.
Would have been nice, though, no?
Yeah, but Oslo is a very nice place to be right now, both in the with Corona, but also there's a lot of good opportunities to play some chess.
I spent only a couple of days in Oslo after last year I played a tournament in Kragerø, which actually I played this year as well. And then Corona happened. I remember that when we were coming back, we were getting all this news about Corona, and we were in the airport worried, but we got back home safe. And we spent a couple of days in Oslo last year after the tournament. And by the way, in Kragerø is where Magnus has been training, so it's quite a beautiful...
What did you say?
In Kragerø, the place where we played the tournament, that's where Magnus used to train for the World Championship. So it's a very nice place.
Historic place.
Historic place also, yeah. But it's a beautiful place. It's a very nice hotel if you guys want to play that tournament. It's a great one.
It's good to know.
So here, bishop a6. Let's see what happened, no? Bishop takes a6, knight takes. And now white played queen e2. Okay, if he plays something like e5 again, I guess you could go either way. Knight d5 or knight e4, they are both possible. Knight e5 looks more natural to me, I think. Because if they play c4, I just move my knight away and then this structure will be bad. No?
Yeah, I think
e5 is hanging also. I want to take on d4 and take on e5.
Yeah.
So this is already very bad for white. Keeping the structure as it is better. He played queen e2. And here Adams plays this very nice move, queen b7. It's kind of forced also because I need to defend my knight. But I'm also threatening to take on e4, so I'm forcing white to do something about the pawns. Force him to push the pawn and give me some squares. Knight e4, now he castles. Rook here. Takes on d4, already have a slightly better position thanks to the structure. And what do we do now?
I mean, we could put the a rook on c8, or we could do something about the knight on a6. I'm a little bit tired of the knight being there. We could put the knight on... No, we can't put the knight on e5 yet, but we could maybe put the knight on c7 and then take the bishop, or we could take the bishop first and then something like this, and then going here.
Knight takes d2 is also the suggestion of the Twitch and YouTube chat. But knight takes d2 is kind of forced. That's what I want you to understand here. Because if I play knight c7, that's a move that you're considering. This bishop is running away. This bishop goes to e1. And the knight on e4 is a bit awkward then, no?
Yeah, that's true. It looks nice there, but it doesn't really have it.
It's kind of unprotected. And if the queen goes away, as might have some problems. And you cannot really get knight d5 with the knight on e4. So first things first, you have to take on d2. Rook takes d2. And now I'm going to ask you again, what do you play here with black?
Okay, so we put the rook on c8 first to prevent him from taking the c file. Maybe we could maybe take it by putting the rook here, and then putting the knight here.
Knight c7 is the suggestion of the Twitch chat, and I don't see anything. Okay, rook c8 is in the YouTube.
Queen d5 is hanging the
knight. Yeah, rook d5.
Rook d5 could be interesting.
Knight c7 I see is the choice of the majority of people. But yeah. I want you to think, what does white want to do here? I know that d5 is such a lovely square and you would like to get your knight there as soon as possible, but you really need to see what your opponent wants to do as well. What does they want to do? What do they want to do? Sorry.
I guess he wants to double his rooks in the c file.
Not maybe. Really, no.
No?
No.
Well, does he want to push d5?
Well, that would be ideal, yes. If he can push d5, it would be great.
But maybe he could prepare it?
You have some weaknesses in your position as well. What? I'm just reading the Twitch chat and I'm just laughing because, yes.
Like mating attack here?
It's not really about the mating attack, but it's more about the d6 square. That is your weakness in your disposition.
No weaknesses in my position.
Yes, you do have a big weakness on d6, huh?
On b6?
d6, d6.
d6, yeah, that's true.
That's a great square for the knight. And Blitzbreed, yeah, you are right, h6 is the move. It's a great move, prophylaxis here.
So we play h6 so that the knight can't go to
g5.
To e4, to, okay.
Yes, and then you can go ahead and play for your ideas. But first, always remember to look at your opponent's threats. What do they want to do? You have time for knight c7, no? It's not going anywhere. Now he goes rook c1. Okay, I'm going to let you give me the next move.
Can I go for my own plan now? Can I play knight c7 now?
Yeah, you can play. Now is knight c7, yeah. Knight c7 and knight d5, no?
Yeah.
This is the knight that was not doing anything. And then the weakness is on d5. We want to stop them from playing d5 as well. Fix the pawn and then attack them. Actually, this endgame is going to be better for black. So here he played rook c8. I'm just going to briefly show the rest of the game because it's a great game. Queen d3. We could actually had it inside the series, the great games in the Nimzo. And now he plays b5 because, well, what do we have here, no? In this position with black?
We have...
Yeah, go ahead.
Like we have the possibility of creating a passed pawn on the queen side.
We have the majority, yeah? So here we are looking at this weak pawn, but it's not enough. We need to create a second, not really a second weakness, but a second front of attack in this case. No, we want to have something more than that. Okay, now he plays a6, defend. And here a5 was a good move. He played b4, and this also seems to work, and create the a passed pawn. Queen b3. I keep my queen to help my pawn advance. Rook b8. Now he goes king h7, get out of the checks.
Well, then white could have exchanged queens there.
Sorry? Queen c2 here. But I think on queen c2 in this position, here, I think now I'm already prepared for a5, a4. Because when with the rook on a2, there's always knight b4 probably, no? That's not a great way to stop the pawn. On queen c2, this was your idea, I can take and play a5. This should be rook c2 and a5.
Like, no Fortnite, please. He's writing in the Twitch chat. I literally hate knight on d5.
And this knight that is forever, no? Cannot get it out there. Yeah, I think this is also lost, no? Rook a2, I can go rook a8 and push the pawn.
Yeah.
And on any rook a4, I have knight b6. Get the rook out of there. Should be winning. Oh, here. This was the game, rook a8. And here he went queen b7. Okay, now he goes king at g8 and rook c8. And here queen a8, and something happened here that white played rook a5. What do we play here with black? I see people in the chat want a match between us in the openings, a training match, but I'm definitely not going to make it an odds game because Sophie is a very good player. She just she was just telling me that she's 2150 now in Blitz, so she's very strong. I don't think night odds are a smart thing.
And I'm actually having great results with the Nimzo. I mean, I don't know if I play it always so precise, but I like the positions that I'm getting.
That's great because it's so positional that I was worried.
Supposed to play here. I don't. I mean, we could protect the pawn, but it doesn't sound like that's what you want me to do.
No, that's not it. The private EU asking me what I'm drinking. I'm drinking some tea.
I'm drinking some coffee. It's just Thursday still. Is it something tactical? Can I ask that?
Yes, it is something tactical, yes.
Okay, so I can see that there's some, what is it called? There's like a diagonal here that could be a little bit fun. Oh!
There she is.
We play knight e3, don't we?
We do.
Knight e5, he has to take, then we put the rook here, and he can't keep, he moves the king somewhere, and then we take the knight, and he's gonna be checkmated, I guess.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And rook b2, game over. And it's going to be mate. You are right.
And I can see the YouTube is finding it also, and and you got a lot of questions about your tea.
I do. I wasn't checking the chat now, but let me just add the next position, which will be probably the last one. And yeah, I think Eccentric Horse is saying that considering the progress you're making, Sophie, maybe you will have to give me odds for the the match. That's true. I think that.
I think that will be a while though. But it's nice to finally, because I had been hitting like a wall. But sometimes it's really nice to, like, I think I've hit like 1900 and maybe like 1950. I just like reached 2000 a couple of times, but I always ended up going down to like 1900 again. And now I'm like a good piece above 2100. So that's really nice.
You're stabilizing. And now that you are going to play a tournament, what's the time control for the tournament you are going to play in November?
I'm not excited. It's a classical, like about 2 hours. Yeah, and I
exciting.
Really hope it because I like that. And somebody said Sophie Tile. That's the nicest thing
That's it,
ever.
yeah.
Okay.
She's Sophie Tile, yes. That should be, since you don't have an Instagram, that should be your new handle.
Maybe a little bit to yeah, I don't know. She teaches language.
What do we do here?
This is from the...
So I'm going to answer the questions about my tea. I don't have sugar in my tea, and it's just a herbal tea that I was having now. But I do like chai tea, yes.
This is from... I think this is...
Yes, this is the line with b5. You recognize it, no?
And it's when they don't take on c6.
It's actually a different line than what we saw. We didn't see this move order that happened here. Because white has this f3 played here.
Yeah.
So it's a bit different. That's why I wanted to show you this position. So we discuss the ideas. I think white has just played f3 actually, and the move that we saw is e3, right? In this position instead of f3.
Yeah. And I know that when they play f3 in general, it's good to play d5. But
well, yeah, because basically you don't want to allow them to get that great center. But I think, but not here, no? d5 is not something you'd probably do here.
No. Maybe I could play bishop b7 to prepare d5. Could that make sense?
Bishop b7 to prepare d5?
Yeah.
But so on e4 you want to play d5? And then e5? Doesn't that look a bit...
Yeah, but then I was thinking I could maybe put my knight here, but it probably looks a little bit too cramped.
Yeah. Yeah, white wants to play e4 and e5. I didn't know that chai means tea in India, but whenever I go and buy tea, they have this variety of tea that's called chai, so that's why... But actually in Romanian you also say chai, so it's... I just suppose that's how you call it, that variety of tea.
I don't know what to play here. We could take on b5, but that's not really what.
We can take on b5, yes, and they will play e4, no? And my pawn on... Our pawn on b5 is hanging.
We could... Is there any point to this move, playing knight d5?
And then, what do you want to play after the queen moves away?
I don't know, maybe put my knight on b7, b6.
But you're not stopping me from playing e4, are you?
No.
Knight
oh, I want f5.
You want f5, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. And Snotty Gorilla Breath has it on the Twitch.
Yeah, and I
chat.
can see Isu, yeah, Isu has it in YouTube chat. In the YouTube chat.
Okay. Knight e5 and f5, yes. This is the idea that I wanted to show you here because it's a bit different from what we were seeing. But you kind of combine ideas because we have seen this idea of f5 in a different line, right? You are playing knight e4 and f5. So here knight d5, he played queen d2. Let's see what happens if queen b3, just hanging on to that pawn. And here the idea is always to play f5. So you are going to play f5 wherever the queen goes. And here I have two more questions for you. What happens if he takes and plays e3, for example? What would you play in this position?
I almost just want to take on d4, but this king is so caught in the middle. No, let's see. We could play rook b8. We could
play rook b8, yes. What else?
Just check here. I think actually I'm just gonna, now I'm just gonna take this pawn, and then when he takes, then I'm gonna give a check here. And isn't this like a lot of, we get 2 pawns, and is that not good?
I haven't really looked at that line, but I think that
Maybe.
white is going to be able to get the pieces out. Maybe knight. Can I play there? 92 maybe? In that position, 92, and get the bishop out quickly?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe castle? Yes, Isuro has it in the YouTube chat.
F4 maybe. With the idea that if they go e4, then queen h4.
Yes, that's more like it. Yes, f4 is the move here, and if e4, now you have queen h4, and the king is stuck in the center, right? You are a pawn down, but white is not winning here. White is much, much worse. He has to move the king away. Otherwise, g3, you just take on g3, right? Here, takes, because this rook will be hanging. So if king d1, this is just bad. Here, rook b8, everything, all the pieces are coming with tempo. Queen moves somewhere. And I think you can even think about sacrificing another pawn. You play knight e3 maybe. It's actually not sacrificing another pawn, because I take on b2 afterwards. So I'm not sacrificing anything.
No.
Oh, the winning, yes, right. I forgot that you were a pawn down in that position. So in the line that you were sacrificing a knight, yes, I am Yang is right. You were only a pawn for the piece. You only had one pawn for the piece there. In the line with queen h4, knight d4 and queen h4, you are a pawn down here, Sophie. So it's just one pawn for the piece.
Okay, that's true.
So, okay, if they take on c6, the problem is that it's going to be very difficult to get the pieces out. If you don't play e3 in this position, how do you defend d4, right? It's very uncomfortable. And if they play, let's say, e3 here, not take the pawn, now you can take on b5. Let's say bishop takes, and here you can simply get the pieces out, pawn down, but again, a lot of compensation. Rook b8, for example, to get the rook out, because then the idea of queen h4 is something that you are going to play for. Put the queen on h3, prevent them from castling, and here you have a very interesting move. After king f2, what would you play with black?
Maybe go e5. Try to open up.
Does that work?
I don't know. If it takes, then.
I'm just wondering about your knight on d5. That's a bit loose. The knight on c6. I'm not sure if I want to take on c6 though, but that pin on the knight on d5, maybe I can do something about it, like bishop c4.
Is this too aggressive?
No, it's not. Great, g5.
Yeah.
Yes, and g5 is the move here. Sorry?
It's just because I see eccentric forces saying f4 is what Tal would do, but I think f4 is not very. It's not like playing f4 instead of g5. I don't think it really helps black that much.
With g5 played, I think is even better. Yes.
F4 without g5, I think it's.
No, but here actually what you want to do is weaken a bit the king's position. So I'm not sure after g5 you want to play f4, but g4 is a very strong idea. You want to weaken the light squares. And as I am Yang is pointing out in the chat, you want to open the e4 square for the knight. And this is actually the idea after g5. for example, taking this pawn would be complete suicide, because now after f4, after g4, sorry, f4, let's say bishop b7, all the pieces are coming into the attack. And the idea that you want to play for, whether they take on c6 or not, is knight f6 and knight e4, and play against the bad king on f2. Yes, this is completely winning. I was just showing how things could go wrong here. Of course, they don't have to take everything on c6. And there was another idea that I wanted to show here. After knight d5, the game went queen d2, f5, e3, and now he takes on b5. And my question is, what happens after bishop takes b5?
I think this is bishop a6 is the natural response.
Yes, but you have to see if you don't have any better than bishop a6.
Natural is not always good enough.
And I suggest you don't check the chat, because you're going to get the answer. So try to find it by yourself.
Yeah, I want to check. Is it something tactical?
It is, of course, yes.
Okay. Take here.
Yes, you take there. Let me see if the YouTube chat had it, because people were finding it in the Twitch. Yes, knight e3 followed by queen a5. And this is also very, very good for black.
Yeah.
Yes. Bishop b5 didn't happen in the game. Knight h3 was the game, and it ended in a draw eventually. But this is everything that I wanted to show from this game, and I think we are going to stop here. I had a lot of exercises prepared actually, but enough is enough. No, I'm going to give you a break.
I'm also going to play this tonight, so I need a little bit.
You need to rest, yeah? Thank you guys very much for watching us, and hope to see you next week again. Let me know what you would like to see for our next series. You can vote in my Instagram poll.
Go vote.
You should go vote, Sophie, yes. And Sophie will let me know what she would like to see, so I'm going to make something to everybody's liking. Yes, it's on my Instagram. If it's still there yet, it might have gone away after 24 hours, but I will keep adding it so you guys can vote. So, okay, thanks very much, and well, I'll see you soon. See you tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to see the Spanish speakers tomorrow for the Hanging Pawns lecture. Thank you very much, guys. Bye. Have a nice weekend.